I'm Nardo D&D. I do all sorts of homebrew D&D stuff, like converting old D&D stuff into modern 5e format so you can use it at your gaming table. Huge thank you to all of those who showed up in the last video. You quadrupled the subscriber count, which is insane. I thought something went wrong with YouTube. I really wasn't sure what was going on. I think I might have committed some kind of crime or felony of some sort. Since you guys enjoy magic items, I made 10 magic armors here for you guys to use at your D&D 5.24e gaming table for use and leisure. So if you like what you see here, I would absolutely appreciate a like, and if you want to stay tuned for more, give the old subscribe, which will let you know when I upload another thing. But the thing that I love the most is when you guys comment down below and tell me how I mispronounce things. That's what gets me up in the morning. I don't get out of bed unless someone tells me how to pronounce Chitan correctly. Well, no more goofing. First magic armor is the steel plate of underwater predation. This robust, heavy suit of plate armor has filigree lining the pauldrons depicting ships breaking on huge sharks. This armor is +1 plate armor. While attuned, you can breathe underwater and gain a swim speed equal to your speed. As a reaction, when a creature makes a melee attack against you, you may have the armor become more jagged, inflicting your proficiency bonus of slashing damage to the attacker. Also, your teeth become sharp. You regrow any lost teeth within 24 hours. You gain a bite attack that you can make as a bonus action using your strength to hit and damage, dealing 1d6 piercing damage. So now you can finally roleplay a young Taylor Lautner being Shark Boy in D&D 5.24 using this steel plate. It's a fun nautical themed heavy armor. The slashing damage that you can deal as a reaction references the rough skin of the shark that they have. Even though they look smooth, it's pretty rough. You don't want to go rubbing your hands on there. You can use it like sandpaper, really. And you get a fun bite attack as a bonus action, because a lot of heavy armor using classes kind of don't really have a dedicated bonus action. Like if you're a fighter, sometimes you get Polearm Master, or you get the offhand attack. But if you just have a great sword as a fighter, like what do you use your bonus action for anyway, right? So yeah, that's that one. Let's go to the next one. The Prismatic leather armor. This leather armor is studded with a myriad of gemstones. This armor is +1 studded leather armor. While attuned, in following benefits. You become aware of the global market price of any gemstones you come in contact with. Very handy. Also, your proficiency number of times per long rest, you may cast Chromatic Orb. In addition, your proficiency number of times per long rest, you may cast Color Spray. And once per long rest, you gain the ability to cast Prismatic Spray. So this is a very color-themed armor, very Power Rangers, hoo-ha, funny color-based superpowers. And the global market price of gemstone thing is a common magical effect that I include in many of my D&D games, and it comes up incredibly often. Because when you have to find out what the value of a diamond is in order for it to be good for a reviving spell, is pretty handy to know the value by like looking at it instead of having it to get appraised, and then like maybe you try to cast a spell and then it doesn't work because it was only worth 200 gold. It's a whole thing. The other spells are very color based, so that it kind of matches up with the prismatic nature of the leather armor. And it's fun to let the rogue just like sneak up on someone and then boom, prismatic spray in the back line of a bunch of like enemy combatants. That could be very devastating. That does like a ton of damage. It's like that much right there. Yeah, in the right there, that much right there is circled. All right, next armor, the half plate of animal communion. This armor is adorned with depictions of squirrels, bear, rabbit, and snake sitting around a table conversing. This armor is +1 half plate. That's some medium armor for you there. While attuned, you may cast the spell Speak with Animals at will, because you're communing with them. You're like talking to them. That's what that means. Once per long rest, as an action, you may transform into any beast with a CR lower than your proficiency bonus. That has touched the armor while you have been attuned to it, retaining the armor's AC bonus while transformed. In order to figure that out, you just get the half plate armor +1, and then you just add the creature that you're turning into's dexterity bonus to that. So that's what that would mean. So you wouldn't use the natural armor bonus unless it's higher, then you just use that one. And the reasoning I have behind this is I like to think that the half plate fits into the or on around the animal that you transform into. So if you turn into a bear, you'll have the funny half plate on as the bear because it morphs, and that's like what it's about. So anyway, moving on with the rest of the effect. You gain temporary hit points equal to the creature's hit points. When those are depleted, you are transformed back into yourself. You retain your mental attributes but lose the ability to cast spells while transformed. So a bit of like the old school druid wild shape here. Now this is medium armor, and druid and ranger can both use medium armor, and that's like the obvious choice to give this armor to. However, blood hunter and artificer can also wear medium armor. That's probably their preference too. I think it'd be really funny to have the really edgy blood hunter try to get information out of these squirrels that have witnessed a crime scene of some sort. I think that could be a fun interaction, and he has to bribe them with acorns or something, or turn into a squirrel and do a little dance or something. I think that's pretty good. That's what I'd make my blood hunters do personally if I had one in my current game. Next armor, clothes of martial prowess. This linen shirt and pants keep themselves clean and always end up together when separated. While attuned, you gain +1 AC as long as no other armor is worn. You may still wield a shield and receive this bonus. Your proficiency number of times per short rest. When you make a weapon attack, you may add your proficiency bonus to the hit roll. When you finish a long rest, you may choose to become resistant to slashing, piercing, or bludgeoning damage until your next long rest. And I really had a monk in mind when making this, which is why the piercing, slashing, bludgeoning damage would like fit nicely with that, the extra AC, and the extra accuracy on the punches and such. However, a barbarian could easily wear this, and it's kind of redundant with the bludgeoning damage, bludgeoning, slashing, and piercing damage with them because of their rage, but you have it even when you're not raging, which is really nice. And then also, what would be very relevant is an Order of the Immortal Mystic could use this quite nicely, because they also don't wear armor, and they do like weapons, and they don't normally get resistant to slashing, piercing, or bludgeoning damage unless they have that funny psychic focus that they like to do sometimes. So there are some funny options for who to give this to. It is just nice clothes to wear. Even a wizard could gain a benefit from this, probably with a one of those funny booming blade cantrips or a green blade cantrip. And resistance to the normal damage types are just good to have on anyone, regardless of class, really. Oh, and you can like argue if this is armor because it's just a shirt and pants, but like I think it's armor because you wear it. Armor is just stuff you wear. Armor just means clothes. All right, next one. Robe of Arcane Reservoir. This deep blue robe, curling wavy patterns look as if they stay still even as the robe moves. While attuned, you gain an additional spell slot of a level equal to your proficiency bonus. This spell slot recovers every long rest. That's pretty nice. You can innately cast the spell Magic Missile as if it were cast using a spell slot equal to your proficiency bonus. Very funny. Once per long rest, this robe can produce material components with a value equal to 50 gold times your proficiency bonus. So you can get all kinds of funny material components. At level 17, you can create that 300 gold gem diamond to revive someone with resurrection, so that could be pretty neat at level 17, so that seems pretty balanced for that. You could also just get the things that you just forgot to pack, such as a bit of holy water, maybe. I'm saying all these like divine material components, and this is like a wizardy robe, but it just says material components. Like they could be for anything. You just, the cleric asks the wizard who's wearing the robe, because surely the cleric's gonna be wearing heavy armor, why wouldn't he? And he gets you the material components. It's always the cleric that kind of like has the material components hang up, although like maybe wizard sometimes. Who can say really who gets the best benefit? I think the magic missile part of this robe is very cool, where you just have like a little cantrip, but it's magic missile now, and you just like boom, guaranteed damage. But like at high levels, like you're not gonna spend your like, this is a last resort kind of thing. Like, oh, magic missile is a fun like kind of ability to have. Sometimes you'll use it like running down the hallway and you have to hit certain things. When you really need to like cut a rope and you can't miss like that, that's like when this would come in handy. It's not broken in terms of the damage output that you can do, because casting a level 2 magic missile, that's like okay. It's not the end of the world. 4d4 plus 4 damage, that's like fine. The spell slot that you gain is huge and really cool, and I like how it gets bigger as you level up, so that's neat. I like this as a wizard robe. I would put it on myself in real life if I could. If you guys can guess what cartoon I'm referencing in the item's flavor text about how the patterns look as if they stay still even while the robe is moving, then I will heart react your comment with that. So there you go. Next one. Plate armor of the forlorn knight. Old and scarred, this armor bears many cuts, dents, and scratches from years of use. This armor is a +1 plate armor. While attuned, you gain these benefits. If there are no allies within 10 feet of you, you gain advantage on strength, constitution, and dexterity saving throws. Very lonely boy times. In addition, your proficiency number of times per short rest. As a bonus action, you may push an ally who is currently within 5 feet of you directly away from you, a number of feet equal to your strength score times 5. So at 20, that's like 100 feet. That's a lot. To resist this push, a strength save with a DC equal to your armor class must be passed. However, they can just choose not to and just take the push, and it's fine. It's only if they're trying to like push against you. But it only works on allies, so don't try to do this on no funny enemy. But then again, if it just has a DC, like I can see it going either way. Just a target. Whatever you like. Ask your DM how he feels about it. I'd say yes. And the last ability that it has. Once per long rest, as an action, you may cause a 30-foot radius burst of force centered on yourself. Any creature caught in the radius, including you, must make a DC 14 Constitution saving throw, taking your maximum hit points as force damage on a fail or half on a success. You have disadvantage on the saving throw, but more than likely you will have advantage on it because of the first part of the armor where it gives you advantage if you don't have any allies within 10 feet of you, and you could use your bonus action to push your ally out of the way, and then you explode. So then it's just a straight roll because you advantage and disadvantage, so they cancel out. So that's the thing. So it's the Forlorn Knight. You're like sad. You stay behind to stave off the oncoming hordes and blow them up with yourself. Take them with you as your friends get away, as you push them to safety. That kind of thing. Very, very noble, heroic kind of knight stuff. I like it. It's goofy. Gives good time for storytelling moments, and acts of sacrifice are always cool in D&D. I vote yay on those. Next armor. The Armor of Subterranean Alliance. This armor has depictions of spiders charging alongside dwarves and floating brains. This armor is +1 studded leather armor. While attuned, you gain magical dark vision out to a range of 30 feet. In addition, your proficiency number of times per long rest you may cast Darkness, and your proficiency number of times per long rest you may cast Enlarge, only targeting yourself. And lastly, once per long rest, as an action you may emit a psychic force in a 60-foot cone, forcing all creatures caught in it to make a DC 14 intelligence saving throw, or take 68 + 4 psychic damage and be stunned until your next turn. Half damage and no stun on a successful save. So if this isn't obvious, this is a kind of homage to all of the fun-loving creatures that live in the Underdark. You gain the dark vision from all of them. You gain the ability to cast darkness from the funny drow. You gain Enlarge, only being able to cast on yourself, from the Duragar, and you gain the psychic blast thing from the Mind Flayers as a little treat. And feel free to mess with the DC and damage of the Mind Blast one. Like if you have an int of more than 18, then it like you can increase the DC of it, because it's based on having 18 intelligence or 19 intelligence, I guess, but it's a +4 modifier, because it's like 8 plus the proficiency of the Mind Flare, which would be 2 at this time, plus it's 4 intelligence to get the DC 14, and then the +4 psychic damage is also from the modifier. So if you have like 20 intelligence, it'd be +5, 68 + 5 psychic damage, and it'd be a DC 15. So if you want to mess with that, but that would be a lot to write down on the card. The card's only got so much space on it. So work that out with your dungeon master if you want to use this armor, and if you want to like mess with those things. Darkness and Enlarge don't have any saves or anything, so you just do those. You can just do those however you like. So yeah, I like that one because it references all of the funny guys that live in the dark. Next armor. The Inventor's Protector Armor. This mechanical marvel of engineering has many moving parts in the form of gears and pistons and a shoulder-mounted mini crossbow. This armor is +1 half plate. While attuned, you gain the following funny bonuses. Your proficiency number of times per long rest as a bonus action, gain temporary hit points equal to your proficiency bonus times 5. So oh boy, up to level 4, that's 10 extra hit points twice per long rest. That's pretty cool. I like that. That's fun. And then it gets bigger. It's kind of like a smaller version of the Eldritch Invocation that lets you just cast False Life on yourself every now and then, or like all the time actually, but like it's just a worse version of that. But you get to have it on your armor. You don't have to take levels of Warlock for it. So that's nice. And then you also gain, as a bonus action, fire a bolt from your shoulder crossbow that can hold 5 bolts before needing to be reloaded with an action. Intelligence plus proficiency bonus to hit, dealing 1d8 piercing damage. So you don't get any bonuses to the damage because, you know, it's just the little mechanism shooting the crossbow at you, and using your smarts to shoot it, because it's kind of like you're willing the armor to it. Since you're attuned to it, it's magically one with you kinda now, just like all magic items are when you attune to them. So it kind of knows what your intentions are, so it'll like turn and shoot. In addition, your proficiency number of times per long rest, gain a bonus action this turn. So it's like, it's got the extra little moving parts. You got your extra gizmos on your arm parts of this funny half plate that can like extend and give you the ability to just gain an extra bonus action. If you're a rogue, you can use that, like interact with object, maybe drink a potion weapon with it. Maybe you're a rogue, you can like dash with it. Or maybe as that extra bonus action, you just shoot the shoulder-mounted crossbow thing for fun. You know, that could be cool too. If you just need to deal a little bit more damage and you already like did an attack and you smited with your bonus action and you're choosing to wear this half plate for some reason, you're a paladin, you can use that extra bonus action to shoot the little crossbow shoulder thing. So that could be fun. And yeah, that's what this one is. Last armor is the next one. Oh, you've heard of the dancing sword. Well, this is the dancing shield. This shield has a depiction of a gala in full swing in a lavish ballroom. This is a +1 shield. While attuned, your proficiency number of times per long rest, you may drop the shield, willing it to float around you, providing its AC bonus to you for 1 minute. And I don't know how you guys do it, or maybe even if this is like the correct rules, but dropping an item out of your hand is just a free action. Like you can, if you're holding a sword and a shield, you can just drop both of them on your turn, and that doesn't cost you anything in action wise. I could be wrong, and please correct me if I am, but that's how we've been playing it in my game for decades at this point. Anyway, it has other things. Your proficiency number of times for long rest, you may cast Otto's Irresistible Dance with a DC of 14. Otto's Irresistible Dance has them make this save right here. You can read all of the intricacies, and either way, even if they pass the save, they still gotta do a little bit of a dance, so that's always funny to see, because it's a dancing shield. Now, the last part, your proficiency number of times per long rest, as a reaction, you may have the shield fly to protect an ally within 30 feet, adding its armor class bonus to theirs until the start of their turn, at which point it returns to you. And it goes without saying, surely, but I'm going to say it anyway, you lose the armor class while it's going to protect someone else because it's not on you. That just makes sense, surely. And that's kind of how the dancing sword works. When you drop the dancing sword in normal D&D, the normal dancing sword from popular video game Dungeons and Dragons, it goes off and like attacks for a few rounds and then it returns to you. And this kind of also goes off and protects for a bit and then returns to you. So it's a similar kind of thing like that. So yeah, and that's it. That's all the funny armors I have. Also, you can argue whether a shield counts as an armor because you hold in your hands, but my argument is it's on this chart right here where the armors are. So that's why I think it is. So that's my argument. I'd love to hear your guys' argument as to if it is or is not an armor. Thank you all for watching. If you like the video, please give a little like down there. Just click the little thing. If you want to stay tuned for other ones and see what I come out with next, a subscribe would be nice. As always, there's the PDF in the description, and you can fit them in the funny card sleeve, just like the last one. Oh, look, there's the little example of it. Yeah, that's what it is. Write what you want to see next in the comments. Like, maybe that'll determine what I do next based on what you guys say. So that'll be cool. Check out the other videos. The magic weapons one is really cool. I like the cantrips one. It's pretty nice. I like the ones in there. And yeah, that's it. You'll catch more flies with honey than Mountain Dew Baja Blast. Bye.